Hi, this is Melissa again with another episode of Be Inspired. And today, just on a quick topic, it was really interesting last night because I have a friend of mine and we both call each other each day and we say this oath to each other uh, from our prosperity class. And we also do a gratitude exercise and also how we foresee our day happening. And I thought it was really interesting. Oh, excuse me. I thought it was really interesting because last night I had dreamt of her, and she told me last night that she had dreamt of me as well. And we don't typically dream about each other, so I think this was very, very interesting in a kind of in a unique, different way. And very interesting too was she was both kind of steering in each of the dreams, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I'm just kind of been, what's the word? I've kind of been in a little bit awe about it. It could be a coincidence, but I think there's definitely something a lot more to the coincidences. Even today, I had hopped around and went to go see the Incredibles 2 movie today, which was really good and kind of brings me today's topic, um, which is, getting to know somebody pretty well or feeling like you get to know somebody well and then you don't really know them at all. Or they just might not be the best person to have around. And I don't know what your situation has been in life, but I know in mine, I've had some close friends, at least a long time in my childhood, even that just seemed kind of to turn or do things that did not seem like their normal behavior with me. And I thought about that after watching this Incredibles movie because the two women became quite good friends, and then one all of a sudden just turned out to be, I don't know spoilers, but it turned out to be a bad guy. So um, I thought it was just quite interesting. It's like, do you really know, who your friends are? How much trust do you have in them? And also, too, is like, how much of the integrity is there in people? Um, it's just interesting to see. It's just a play on character, and some things sometimes you just really never know. Things can happen, and when you thought life for somebody was one way, and then all of a sudden, something might hit you out of left field that is just not what you expected. And I definitely am grateful for a lot of things in my life recently, but I've really been grateful to have some people in my life that have been really, really high in integrity and high with their character with me. And that has been going um, for a while now that I've met through my spiritual practice in my church. And I've really, really felt like I've met some people high in integrity about uh, calling me, returning calls, also stating to me if something happened, what may have happened. And usually there's this kind of, essence where people just kind of just drop off and they just don't, what's the word? They don't say anything to you. There's no contact. They just, assume that, they're busy or something else, and or something may be going, but they choose to not respond to you. And then later, when they feel like it, then they choose to respond. So I like dealing with people, at least I've noticed, I like dealing with people with high integrity. And I do my best to do that for myself as well. And I think that you should put yourself to do that as well. No matter what your situation is, um, no matter what you may be going through, put out what do you want to put out yourself to the universe. And granted, you can always say, what are you putting out? That's what you're getting back. But also, too, you never know. You never know. You may have come into somebody's life for some reason to help shed maybe some experiences or to just show who you are for a moment and to let that other person be the judge or to learn from that relationship, or maybe you're meant to learn from the relationship. So it was very interesting to see this today in the movie, and also it was kind of interesting in the movie. There was a couple parts in it that reminded me of my dream that I had as well. So I thought that was quite funny. I'm like, how is this happening? This is a little bit more than coincidence. So I'm wondering where I'm tapped in and tuned in on, in some wavelength, some parts of, I don't know. And these are not very large coincidences, but I'm going to say they're very minor. But the things are they're so unique to themselves, which makes them very, very interesting. So I definitely feel that there's maybe a little bit something more that I need to be learning from or um, being open to the message of. But that's actually what I wanted to just touch on today. It's like you never know when somebody is going to, be somebody different, or they all of a sudden might change, or there's something else that happens. You don't know where their upbringing is and their dynamic. What I thought was really interesting actually is there was this thread on LinkedIn that I was following about, and it was talking about ghosting and ghosting actually in the workplace. And I thought that was interesting because, oh my goodness, I think people, and I've even had to deal with ghosters in my life, and for people to deal with this in the workplace, no response, no thank you, no setting up for a time for an interview. They just kind of ignore you. It was really interesting to see the the see the dynamic that happened. And then somebody posted, they said, "Hey, well, they don't have a degree, so that's probably the reason why." And then everybody just blew up and said, you know what, they can have a degree, they can have the knowledge, but it's the integrity and the character that really matters. So I know it's difficult, and everything happens in life, for a reason, or maybe not. Maybe it just happens randomly, and we are meant to decipher these things and kind of make sense of it all through living. But I like to believe that there is something, a higher power that we're living for, and that we're working all towards pushing ourselves to the highest limits that we can. But I just wanted to leave you kind of with that today. It's like you never know, but you just show up as your best self and learn from your experiences, and then see what you can do to change things if they happen again in the future. You never know what's going to happen, if people are going to come back into your life, if people are not. You never know. Just remember to have an open heart and an open mind, and be willing to listen depending on what the situation is. Oh, goodness. Be willing to listen depending on what the situation is. Sorry for that. It was a little loud outside. But, anyways, thank you so much for your time today, and have a wonderful, beautiful day. And thank you for watching another episode of Be Inspired. Bye bye.